Today, I want to talk about the mindset necessary to achieve success in school. Now, mindset is very important for any form of success. If you're talking success in business, career, life, you usually hear when you watch interviews of successful people how mindset is one of the first things that you need to get right. So, what does mindset mean and how do you use it to succeed in school? Well, mindset is partially your beliefs, your perceptions, things that you choose, basically your attitude toward how you interpret things in life. Um, Ask yourself, if you see someone else successful, do you think of negative thoughts? Do you get jealous? Do you attack them? Or do you uh, look at that as something positive? Like, oh my gosh, this is something that's inspiring. This is someone that I can learn from, that I can be helped from, and grow from. And when you see people who fail, um, what do you think? These are also uh, areas that can either lead to your growth or to your disaster. And the great news is that you're still young, your mind is still malleable, which allows you to still make the decision to switch your mindset from one that's not helping you to one that's helping you succeed. So, in the spirit of making this video concise and impactful, let's discuss how you can start to switch your mindset. Now, there's a big difference between watching this video and doing. So, all you have to do is after you watch this video or during, start to think of instances where you can start to switch that mindset and work on doing that. It's going to take some time, especially if you're used to a certain way, to rewire your brain, but it can be helpful. Now, since we're making this video for students, let's think about how you feel when other people get straight A's or when you do not get a straight A. That's just one aspect of mindset, but there's a lot of others. The general theme, though, is how do you feel and what's your attitude toward failure? There's a great book called Mindset, The Psychology of Success by Carol Dweck. I actually wrote a book summary of it on my blog and got a little tidbit exclusive nugget from Carol herself. So if you want to check that out, my blog is linked everywhere. But the basic point is that there's two mindsets that they've studied scientifically across children, students, adults. And what they found is that the ones with a fixed mindset really struggle in life and struggle in school. Whereas the growth mindset, they grow, they get better, they improve, and all of a sudden they're doing well in school, they're getting great report cards, and of course they go on to succeed in life, career, relationships, whatever have you. So what's the summary of these different mindsets? Well, the fixed mindset has this belief that everything is fixed. If you suck, you'll always suck. If you aren't doing well, you'll always fail. Things like that. And because of that belief, which is wrong, they get into a very negative state. They tear others down. They start to get manipulative. Maybe they get negative. It's not only toxic for themselves, but for everyone around them. It makes the world a worse place. And ultimately, they don't do any good. Because think about it. If you think that you can't succeed and you can't get better grades in school, then of course you're not going to try to get better grades. You're just going to try and tear others down, have a bad attitude, and so forth. So of course there's a lot more to the growth and fixed mindset. Of course, read the book, get the audiobook, or read my book summary on my blog. But that's it in a nutshell. Now the growth mindset, they think about things that they can improve, things that they can constantly do better at. They think of things like, okay, if I'm not good now, I can still work on myself and improve and get better at that thing. And as you can imagine, a bunch of beliefs and actions ripple through because of that basic thing. Think about it. If you think that you can grow, that you can improve, you start having thoughts like, I will succeed. If I fail, that's just an opportunity to learn and get better. If, if instead of complaining about things like, oh, I only get 15 minutes of study time or 2 minutes to ask a question to my teacher, you start thinking, I will make the most of this opportunity and find new ways of making my reality come true. And, that might mean uh, asking the teacher if you can study after class. This was something that my mother proposed and kind of enforced when I was going through school. And she would say, find those classes that you need work on. And what you're going to do is you're going to ask the teacher, do you have some time after school ends for me to just be in the classroom and ask you a few questions and help, a little extra tutoring session basically. And sure enough, surprisingly enough, every teacher I asked, even the advanced placement teachers, said yes. And guess what? I was one of the only, sometimes there's 2 or 3 other students who would do the same, or they would hear me do it and they would follow along. And it helped. It helped. Now, some teachers, they stay a long time after school ends for the students because they're grading assignments or homework or tests. So they're there anyways. And they can pop in and give you some tips. And yeah, the variance for how much they would help me varied. I remember a physics teacher, he wanted to leave after like 20-30 minutes and go home. I guess he preferred doing his work at home or something. And then there's another teacher which I really appreciated, like my chemistry teacher, who would stay for as long as I was there because he was there for a while anyways. And he wouldn't just do like little quick check-ins with me while I was kind of reviewing. He would actually actively work with me to improve, which I very much appreciated. So at the very least, I wanted to at least give you a new idea to start researching these mindsets. I don't think in this short video you can really get a full grasp of these mindsets, but by simply reading a book, Mindset, The New Psychology of Success, and then learning from it, you can really get some insights that really take you to that next level. Now I want to ask you right now, are you a fixed or growth mindset person? Just based on what I told, how do you think? I will say for me, I was a fixed mindset person for a while, and then I got into personal development, and I saw how people have grown through learning. There's people who used to be very financially illiterate, and then they started reading personal finance books like The Richest Man in Babylon, Rich Dad Poor Dad, and all of a sudden they transformed their financial life from debt to one to where they're very financially secure, they're saving, they're budgeting, and so forth. And there's some haters out there that say, oh, you've been doing personal development for a while, you haven't improved in the slightest. That's not true. There was a time where I didn't know anything about personal finance. Now I got my 401k, my Roth IRA, all that stuff on lock. So that's it. Hit the subscribe button, like the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Please, if you have a positive comment or something that could help our community, leave it below. We're all about that positivity here, and especially it helps me out because there's definitely negative comments. Well, rarely, but sometimes there are, and it helps kind of drown out the people who are just here to complain. So thanks for watching. I'll see you later.